That's phenomenal. That's almost impossible that they can do that.
Yeah.
That is, that must be a world's first.
Stjernholm Reviews, making hi-fi great again and saving the wildlife habitats of the world. Your sound, your music, your planet.
Imagine a speaker that delivers all the power you need to serve the most demanding music at realistic, true-to-life levels. And not to forget basic tension so deep that it will make your nuts rattle. And a sound that really suits any style of music for hours and hours of fatigue-free listening. All served in custom colors.
Yes, selector!
Blue takes me high, purple makes me wanna sing. I got colors in my mind you ain't never seen before. Colors that I hate, colors I adore. Free up my mind and the lyrics are flowing. The colors on my mind should always keep on glowing.
Packed into a body that you can smack right up against the wall if you want. And all you need to make these girls sing is to add a streamer, because they are active. Sounds too good to be true? Not if you can pronounce the name Simp.
How in the hell did them fellers come up with a name that sounds like some feller sneezing real loud in a Bavarian beer hall? Dang if it ain't the goofiest thing I ever heard.
Well, Earl, it's actually a fancy way of spelling the German term Gegentakt,
I don't know about
which
that.
literally means push-pull in audio engineering.
Gegentakt sounds just too darn fancy for me.
All right.
One small step for man.
So, if you ever wondered what happens when German electroacoustic engineers sit in a room and stare at a normal loudspeaker and decide to build something better for the real world, what you get is the Gegentakt Model M3. It's a four-way, fully active, cardioid-capable beast built for real living rooms, not just anechoic fantasy land. Not many speakers offers this kind of power and flexibility in such a shallow form factor, and that was the trigger that made me want to review these. We are going to throw the full force of the Silverback listening team at these monsters to find out if the Gegentakt thing can actually deliver music that reaches your soul, or if it's all just some technical exercise. Welcome to another Dream Speaker episode on Stjernholm Reviews, the series where the bravest speaker manufacturers put their greatest offerings in harm's way, supporting making hi-fi great again and raising money for nature preservation with our channel heroes.
Silverback! We are the Silverback! Hear that thunder roll! In the tweeters, heart in the stroll. Hi-fi great again, no strings to pull. Join the sound, feel the truth, let the music. The sound believers, wave receivers, nature's friends and truth achievers. We build, we play, we give it back. We are the mighty Silver.
Join the Patreon community and become a part of the Silverback tribe yourself.
Say Stjernholm Reviews. Stjernholm Reviews.
The company Gegentakt is a German outfit who designed systems for studios, cinemas, and immersive multi-channel rooms. Places where sound has to behave itself across 10 seats, not just one golden spot on the sofa. They built everything active from the ground up to create an optimized, integrated system. The Model M3 is their current top-of-the-line flagship for people who want proper, full-range performance without having to rebuild their house for speakers. Because the M3 cabinet here is only 19.9 deep. You heard that right. You can park these right up against the wall like normal furniture and still get balanced bass and enough SPL for really effortless hi-fi. This is just the perfect speaker design on paper for many real-life scenarios, as it ticks all the boxes, leading us to looking at the actual design and technology.
Say Stjernholm Reviews. Stjernholm Reviews.
Great design is always in the eye of the beholder. Some will not like it, some others will adore it right away, while it might grow on others over time. So Choose that color wisely.
Let me choose.
At the top here sits a computer-optimized waveguide with a 1.75-inch ring diaphragm compression driver. Horizontal dispersion is a very generous 140 degrees, basically a very large sweet spot on paper, while the vertical pattern is cleverly 16 degrees up, 40 degrees down to keep floor bounce under control. Just brilliant. Below the treble driver is the structural heart. It's a 8-inch paper cone mid-range driver handling the all-important 200 to 1.1 kilohertz band. And that's where voices and instruments really live.
If I really wanted to, I could also sing that way.
Yeah.
No, that sounded beautiful and very, very nice.
And then, of course, the star of the show here, the mind-blowing Gegentakt bass system. It's consisting of 2 long-throw 10-inch woofers with plus-minus 14mm linear excursion and 75mm voice coils that can each handle over 1,000 watts peak.
They can really pack some punch, and it's also from the Pro division, I think. So they're built to be pushed really hard.
They operate in either monopole mode or in clever opposition with the rear radiating woofer creating active cardioid radiation down to around 35 to 40 Hz, which means cancelling bass to the rear by roughly 12 dBs. In plain English, in cardioid mode, instead of pumping an omnidirectional boom into your walls and corners, it shapes the low end so the room behaves itself more. Less room mode chaos and tighter timing and cleaner decay is the result. Switching to cardioid mode does cost you some headroom, but you'll gain clarity, especially near walls or in corners. But since there's so much headroom to start with, I really don't think it's a problem. What we got here was 108, no EQ, no nothing, in cardioid mode.
Yes, and 3 meters away.
Exactly, and 3 meters away. Plus, the limiters was just starting to engage. Okay.
So 1 dB more maybe, and that's it.
That is just insane. Simply swipe the touch-sensitive display on the back and you can instantly switch to cardioid. Add the gentle bass lift or treble cut or assign left and right channels if you are feeding a digital signal. There's 8 factory presets in total, and if you want to go full mad scientist mode, you can download their software and do your own EQ adjustments in the speaker. Everything is active, of course. Each driver has its own dedicated Pascal amplifier with a total of 1500 watts per speaker in the M3S version we have here. They are fed by separate power supplies to eliminate any crosstalk even at full blast. Crossovers are digital FIR phase linear filters with steep slopes, ensuring perfect timing, low group delay, look-ahead limiters, and basically zero idle noise or distortion. This is where active speaker designs really shine. It simply opens up for a whole new level of performance when you're not forcing 1 amp and a passive crossover to babysit 4 completely different drivers. Every single part is optimized exactly for its job, and the whole system is tuned as one instrument. A quick word on the connectivity. Gegentakt M3 has to be fed either via the balanced analog XLR or digitally through the professional AES EBU standard. Important to note, there's no digital loop-through, so you need a source or a preamp that can output either 2 identical regulated AES EBU signals or use a smart distribution device like this Mutec converter that also turns coaxial SPDIF into AES EBU. For our listening sessions, we simply opted for the balanced analog XLR outputs for convenience. The cabinet is CNC machined from a material called Valchromat. It's a material 30% more stable than MDF, and the overall quality feel of the speakers is top-notch. The bottom plate can be removed if you want to mount them on spikes. One thing though, while the finish is okay, it's not on the level we see in luxury speakers. So, as a furniture, the choice of that color should be considered with extra care.
Let me choose.
You have chosen wisely.
For the money, you're getting a complete pro-grade electroacoustic system. Built-in amps, built-in DSP, cardioid bass magic, wide and stable dispersion, and that form factor that actually works in normal homes. No separate power amps, no extra room correction boxes, no speaker stands. All of this looks very clever on paper, right? But to us music lovers, the only thing that really should matter is how it communicates our music. Well, hang on for part 2 coming up on the end card, where we take them to the limit, try to find the answers, as we subject them to the different listener profiles of the elite listeners for nature preservation, the Silverback listening team, to find out if there's any guile in the Gegentakt. See you there.